What's up, party people? Welcome back. So we got some very exciting tunings because we got some changes here for some different players, especially some healers that I may or may not have happened to just pick up yesterday. So I'm excited about this one. So let's get right into it here. I'm going to cover everything going on. So we have Death Knight's Rider Apocalypse, the slow nerf, really great. This was extremely toxic because they're like, you get behind a pillar and this guy on a freaking horse is killing you and slowing you, and it's sucked. Feral here, Rampant Frosty now deals damages enemies within 8 yards of the druid while using bite instead of 8 yards of the target. Okay, makes more sense. Then to give druids more control on the Rampant Frosty's AoE. Okay, not so much applied in PvP. All healing increase for rest of druids does not apply in PvP. Sag. It's not that big of a deal. To be honest, I think they need to just bring, in terms of healers, they just need to bring down Evoker and Disc, and then I think, honestly, rest of druids probably not in a bad spot. But anyway, actually, the Purge protection. That needs to come into the game sooner. That's what it needs to do. Hunters here, another buff to Beast Mastery Hunter. So they just got buffed this previous reset. They're getting buffed again. Fire Mage is going to see a lot of buffs going into here. So we got Flame Strike, Phoenix Flames, and Living Bomb, some juicy buffs. I don't know how good this stuff's going to be. My biggest problem with Fire at the moment is that it dies. It is the worst class spec to heal in the game. As a healer main, I hate healing mages. It's like, because they're just locked into playing Flame Cannon, or what I think it's whatever the talent that loses their health, but it's ridiculous. Okay, Frost. Buffs to these spells do not apply to PvP. Great, those things are really good. I think they counter them actually down below. Priest with another buff, dude. They just got buffed by all damage increase last week, so they got another 4%. Shadow's problem is not damage. Shadow's problem is warriors and DKs. Their damage is going to be pretty freaking good, man. All right, moving on. This is the fun stuff here. We got PvP. Doom Burst causes Death Cool to burst 2 Festering Wounds down from 3, so a little bit less damage from them. Not much, though. DKs are still in a really, really good spot. Okay, Demon Hunters. They were definitely underperforming in terms of damage, so let's see. And not by much, by means. Demon's Blade increase in PvP. Demon's Bite, and Demon's Blade. Jeez. Chaos Strike, Blade Dance, so just pretty much 10% to all your main damaging spells, which is pretty solid. Temperature now increases the damage of Ferocious Bite by 10%, so a nerf to Bite, and that like increases Ferocious Bite per periodic effect. Okay, Taste for Blood now increased by 6%, so they're just did they buff them up here? Okay, no, they are nerfing some of the feral stuff here. They're buffing Rip damage, and they're nerfing the bite damage, so they're trying to take some damage away from the burst, because their bites were getting really, really hard, but their other stuff are really good as well. Rake's initial damage increased by 25%, and its periodic damage increased by 10%. Was -6. Ooh, that's a big buff. Wow. So Rake and Rip are gonna chunk again. I wish they did this to Resto, man. Like the damage doesn't feel meaningful. Okay, Devastation Evoker's 50% nerf to String Shards. Great. I mean, that's fine. Mages, we got quite a few changes here. Frostfire Bolt damage increased by 100%, so that's 25% increase. Frostfire Empowerment increases Frostfire Bolt damage by 30%. Was 50, so a slight nerf to the empowerment of it, so I don't know how that kind of evens out to be. Arcane, I played with some Arcane Mages. It did not, again, it's kind of the same boat as I just said with Shadow. Their damage is pretty good. Fact is they can't play the game because of the melee epidemic, we're gonna call it. So Arcane Missiles damage by 20%, Barrage 15%, Arcane Blast by another 30%. Really, really big buffs. That's good. I mean, I think a class like Arcane, if it is going to be in a meta like it is now, let it fucking pump, man. Let it pump it and let it die fast. Glass Cannon. That's what Mage is supposed to be. Fireball damage increased by another 75%. That's big, okay? G-Pie cast, no, we don't want that. No. So they nerfed it by 5%, but it's a slightly faster cast. This is why is that even in the game still, man? Okay, Frost Mage, Ice Lance nerfed by 25% in PvP. Great. Ice Lance did way too much damage. I hope they compensated. Great. They compensated with Frostball damage. Great. Again, it sucks in the current meta. I know this kind of sucks. I imagine as a Frost Mage player, they're like, frick, man. I know I got to cast more in a meta that you can't cast. But Ice Lance was too much, and I guess this is really the best way to compensate it. Unless they want to, I don't know. Rare Frost damage increased by 5%. That's going to be literally nothing. They decreased by 40% because they nerfed the barriers even more good. These barriers were way too big in my opinion. Mistweaver. So Mistweaver's been underperforming in Arena, but it's overperforming in Blitz. So it's kind of like a thing, but the reason they overperform in Blitz is their utility, not because they're healing. So enveloping healing by 20% is humongous. Vivify is humongous because these are all the time. Okay, Enveloping, maybe not the Enveloping Mist as much, but the Vivify should definitely be cool. You get so many instant cast Vivifies. So this is really good, and then combining this with the new patch that's coming out with the buffs to Mistweaver, pretty solid, man. Okay, Holy Paladin. These are the ones I'm looking forward to most because I just started playing Holy Paladin, and give you a little sneak peek. Haste melee wings Holy Paladin is so much fun. Okay, but I literally lose because of my mana every game, and like you go in 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm hoping this doesn't seem like that monumental, but hopefully it helps a little bit. And then Holy Shock and Wog and Holy Light buff. So all these are really solid. I haven't been using Holy Light enough. Maybe I gotta start getting used to it. But this could actually pair really well with the with I guess Divine Favor, but also the other one too that gives you the instant cast. The Holy Shock buff will be great, and then Eternal Flame buff as well. I imagine Eternal Flame is buffed as well with this. Okay, priests have been overperforming, or especially in some like shuffle and stuff like that. So they decided to hit Wheel and Woe, which is 50% effect in PvP. So that is after your penances, it makes your next shield a lot bigger. So they nerfed that a lot, which is fine with me. I don't even use it on my Disc Priest, so. But I think it's a fair nerf. That's a little bit, but not too much. So they probably could have just flat nerfed the shields, to be honest. And I think that would have been just fine as well, instead of nerfing a talent, because I hate when they kind of pigeonhole you into certain talents. All right, Holy Priest, definitely underperforming. So these are really, really good changes, I think. Serenity, that is insane. The fact that it's 40% shows how freaking poorly tuned it was previously. So this is going to really be a massive change for Holy Priest. I think you're going to start seeing them more. I might have to dabble a little bit again. Let's see. I haven't played Holy Priest this expansion yet, so I may have to tap with that. Okay, Perfected Form now increases damage dealt during Void Form by 10%, was 20. Okay, so they are getting higher sustained damage, so I think it's fair to kind of nerf their burst a little bit. That's fine. Reverberation increases Hecarim Man by 50% PvP, was 70%, so a slight nerf to Reverberation. I think that was giving them bonus damage on their finishing moves, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so that is the changes we got coming in for next Tuesday. These are really, really exciting because this is going to impact the AWC. I'm really happy to see some healers getting buffed because nobody wants to see Prez every game. Nobody, okay? I'm sick of that damage. Even if I do it too, I'm sick of it, man. So these are some awesome changes, and I'm really looking forward to playing Holy Paladin. If you guys are a fan of the stream and you want to see some insanely fun haste Holy Paladin action, make sure you tune out to the stream, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.